Trump compares Russia-Ukraine conflict to two kids fighting.
US President Donald Trump continues to draw attention with a controversial metaphor about the Russia-Ukraine conflict, likening it to two kids fighting in a park, while asserting that the US is not yet ready to intervene. Sitting next to German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, who took office last month and has come to Washington hoping to persuade the US to take more decisive action to force Russia to withdraw, Trump appeared indifferent and did not commit to any specific measures, according to the New York Times. Sometimes you see two kids wildly fighting in the park. You try to stop them, but they don't want to be pulled apart. It's better to let them fight for a while before intervening. I also told that to Mr. Putin yesterday, Trump said. Trump stated that both sides are suffering losses and may need to continue to suffer before they can be pulled apart. He also declined to give a definitive answer when asked if more sanctions would be imposed on Russia, saying it's not the time yet. Merz referenced D-Day, the legendary military campaign led by the US to liberate Europe from Nazi Germany. In a call for Trump to act, "I believe America is strong enough to do something to end this war." However, the US president responded with a controversial joke about the Nazis. "That probably wasn't a fun day for you guys." Merz remained calm and replied, "In the long run, it was the day Germany was freed from the Nazi regime. We are grateful to America." Although he previously claimed during his election campaign that he could end the Russia-Ukraine conflict within 24 hours, President Trump now says that was just a joke. He even implied that Ukraine also deserved punishment. You have to be very, very tough, maybe with both sides, because you know it takes two to tango. Notably, Trump made no mention of Ukraine's bold strike on a Russian strategic bomber over the weekend, an act seen as daring, and offered no clear direction regarding America's response to the escalating war. Last month, Russia and Ukraine resumed direct negotiations in Istanbul, Turkey, in hopes of finding a resolution to the prolonged conflict. The two delegations met twice, with the latest round taking place on June 2nd. However, progress has been minimal, with talks largely limited to a few prisoner exchange agreements. Deep disagreements over ceasefire conditions have led to a deadlock. Both Moscow and Kyiv remain firmly entrenched in their positions, unwilling to make concessions. On June 5th, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky declared that Kyiv would not participate in lower-level negotiations, insisting instead on direct talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. However, the Kremlin swiftly rejected that possibility, underscoring the wide gulf that still exists between the two sides.
Russia will respond to Ukraine's attacks at the appropriate time.
Kremlin says Russia will respond to Ukraine's latest attacks at the appropriate time, accuses Kyiv of state terrorism. According to Reuters, during a regular press briefing on June 5th, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov stated that President Vladimir Putin had spoken with US President Donald Trump and emphasized that Moscow has a duty to respond to Ukraine's June 1st attack. Peskov reiterated Putin's earlier remarks regarding attacks on railway infrastructure. The president referred to the Kyiv government as a terrorist regime for ordering the bombing of a passenger train. This is clearly an act of state-level terrorism. It is an important statement by the president. As of now, Russia has not provided concrete evidence proving that Ukraine's leadership directly ordered the railway attacks. For its part, the Ukrainian government has yet to comment or claim responsibility. In recent days, Ukraine has deployed drones to strike Russian heavy bombers stationed at bases in Siberia and the Arctic region. Additionally, Russia has accused Ukraine of blowing up several railway bridges in the south. resulting in at least 7 deaths. The conflict continues to escalate as Ukraine launches repeated deep strikes into Russian territory, while Russia intensifies its air raids and ground offensives. These developments are widely seen as damaging the prospects of resuming peace negotiations, a process that both sides had restarted in Turkey last month. Despite the rising tensions, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov stated that President Vladimir Putin still supports the position expressed by Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov during a May 4th meeting, emphasizing that communication channels with Ukraine must remain open. Regarding the recent phone call between Putin and US President Donald Trump, the Kremlin confirmed that the possibility of a face-to-face meeting was not discussed. However, Peskov noted, both sides understand that such a meeting is necessary, but it must be carefully prepared. Additionally, the two leaders did not discuss the possibility of the US lifting sanctions against Russia. Peskov added when asked about the matter,